What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the KDK Podcast. It's your host, Koo.
What's up, it's Dala.
What up, y'all? It's Kong here.
All right, and we have a special guest in this episode. He is one of our family. He's also the creator of the Loonies, which is also known as the Looney Tunes crew, which is our hip-hop breakdancing crew. This man, I would consider him the pioneer and one of the first to do it in the Midwest scene as a Hmong b-boy. I also consider him just as a pioneer in the Minnesota scene in general. And he goes by the name of Bboy Zous. Yay!
Legend is in the house.
All right, man, I've been waiting.
Guys?
I think a lot of people have been waiting for this too, man. But let's start off from the very beginning, Zoua.
All right.
So tell us, when did you first experience breaking?
My first time experiencing breaking was, I think I was like a fourth grader. I was at this park. Growing up, we always go to this park where a lot of like the Hmong people in that time would just go and play soccer, play basketball, or katoa, you know, that Laos, volleyball with the legs.
Yeah.
And then I saw maybe like 6 Hmong dudes. They had a tile on the basketball court. So, and I started seeing them doing head spins. They had some really good flair, 90 flair. And I was just like, I had my soccer ball on me. And I just stopped and stared and I looked. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, one day I want to do that. I see myself in them. Yeah, that was the first time I really like saw breaking. I didn't know it was breaking. I was like, whoa.
Was that Minnesota?
No, that was in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you grew up
Big
in
ups to
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Menominee, Wisconsin. Small
Okay.
town. Like 15,000 people only at the time, yeah.
Did you ever figure it out or get to know those people?
Yeah, I did. They were like 6th graders at the time. I was a 4th grader. And then I ended up knowing I got some family cousins there who knew them, who were cousins with them too. So I hung out with their little brothers and then I met them and they went by the crew of Rising Glory. So, yeah.
Damn,
okay.
I got to meet them, but, and there was a gym, like the high school gym that we'd all go swimming on the weekends. And that's when I also see them breaking when I'm swimming. And I get
You do
dressed.
every other sports while you're watching.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm doing everything while I just see them spin on their head and doing their power moves. So, yeah, and I got to know them, got to talk to them.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So when you first started getting into it, what was the first move that you ever learned?
Man, I have to say, like everyone doing it, Apple Jacks, Apple Jacks. And then a little bit of rubber band, but mine wasn't too high. But my buddies, theirs was like going up and down, up and down. I really started breaking like in 7th grade when I hung out with some other buddies who were also monks. But they all had like really good windmills and stuff. And then finally the move that really got me into when I was like, I'm feeling this was windmill,
Yeah.
It's like, I'm windmill. I got it at 13. I'm like, now I really want to break.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing Apple Jacks.
Yeah. Well, obviously, learning it back then is different from now. So back then, how did you learn? Did you have a teacher or did you just kind of learn by watching people?
I say a little bit of both. The ones who could do it, like 3-4 guys, they'll teach me a little bit how to hold yourself and how to whip your legs. And then also you kind of got to do it too, because like they weren't really too technical on teaching you, so you kind of have to do it to feel it. They're like, just whip it and then you'll feel it. I'm like, what the hell is that?
That is how it is.
Yeah, and then just practicing during lunchtime in 7th grade and doing it at home. And then one day it's like, whoa, I don't pause no more. It's just going like a barrel. So yeah.
Okay, nice.
What would you say is like the biggest why you got into it? Is it just like it looked dope, it looked fun, it looked cool, I want to learn how to do it? Or is there like other reasons too? Or that was like kind of like the biggest reason, just this shit looks tight?
Yeah, that definitely that. Like this shit's tight. Like you see people doing things you really admire.
Yeah.
You want to do it too. And also like my folks growing up, they were really strict, right? So they didn't want you to having friends and all that. So they kept me like, just have 2 friends at school. So I hung out with 2 like nerdy ass white guys, and but I saw like the Hmong kids, they were like breaking and hanging out, and their hair was all dyed up, bangs, and my mom them like, don't hang out with Hmong kids, they're bad. But finally I was like, all right, these Hmong kids, they're breaking, they're not skipping school and smoking, they're just breaking. All right, I want to fit in with them because I like what they do. I don't want, I want to have some friends. Right. So they were breaking. I liked what they were doing, and I wanted like to stop being like a loner, just hang out with people for once instead of just coming home and getting yelled at to do homework and shit.
Okay, that's dope. Piggybacking on like the first move you learned, that's funny because as a kid, I still remember the first move I saw you ever did was illusions, bro.
Oh yeah.
I think we were at some gathering at like one of our uncles, and we were all in the basement, all the kids and us, and also you're just like, yo, check this out, and this dude did like 15 round illusions and everything. I was like, whoa, that was tight.
And like illusions is when you're just on your hand doing handstands and you're just kind of rotating around using
rotating.
Yeah.
And Zeus did like 15 rounds. I still remember Kuan Kong's dad was there too, watching with us, and his dad was like, "Man, that was tight." So,
illusions. Yeah,
that was dope as heck.
And like even I asked myself like, what made me attracted to want to break, right? And I think it just has to do with the times because there's no internet, so like whatever you see, you're like, that's cool because you don't see much, right? So you just get naturally attracted to it. So I don't know if that's the same with you.
Definitely. It's like, dang, you see the boring thing all the time. Go home, go to school, come home, work. Okay, play soccer. My dad gets me to soccer, gets me to basketball, gets me to karate, but then don't really have a friend or crewmate. Cruise ship. So then when I start breaking, then okay, you got some friends that are doing the same thing you're doing, sharing the same love you like to do, helping each other out. So it's a lot more different than sports, I guess, from my experience.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. And then like when you got more into breaking, like you would eventually like find like the actual breaking culture and all that. And when you did discover like breaking, like actual breaking instead of just like at like your high school that you went to do some at, like were there some b-boys or b-girls or crews that really inspired you and took you on that next level?
Oh wow, yeah, definitely. There's a good handful. First and foremost, I want to thank like one of my mentor when I was I say 10th grader. He went by the name of Bboy Lee or Lee Vu. Not sure he's still like around breaking.
The Hespen guy?
Yeah, him, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
No, it's a different guy.
Propaganda, yeah.
Propaganda.
Him, and I want to thank Johnny Crazall and Daylight, and a big inspiration too was like Slim. Just seeing him do an air flare was like, whoa! When you're like 16 and you're just doing like 4 or 5 rounds at the elbow tracks, I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah. That really meeting Lee Vu and him introducing me to the crew at the time, Propaganda, and just seeing them and meeting Ozzy and everybody, like it really opened me up that breaking isn't just people doing moves. It's actually a culture behind it. Like there's history behind it. The music, we ain't listening to techno here, bro.
I remember,
that's the biggest one. I was like, whoa, it's James Brown, it's these break beats, and then at the time he didn't really connect that it's hip hop. Of course, everything branches off to their own branch now, but it was where rap and MC came up together. That's when I realized, they all kind of connected. Yeah. That's where the root is, and that's how I really got into like the culture of b-boy, you would say.
I remember too, because when obviously you taught me when I was little, and you would bring me around to you guys, your friends, to go practice with them, and I remember I was so ignorant. I thought like only Hmong people break, and I thought Hmong people created breaking because all I saw was just a bunch of Hmong people. And then one day you took me to I think what was like a little community center. You're like, we're gonna go to compete at this little competition. I'm like, all right, cool. You took me there, and that's when I saw like Daylight. I saw everyone else. Like, dang, also it's just not Hmong people.
Yeah, so many people, different backgrounds, different styles.
I was like, what? And that was when I had my first official battle, and I battled the dude who will bite his shoe.
Oh yeah,
they're like breaking and bite his shoe. I'm like, what? This was weird. I didn't know there was like different styles to it. And honestly, we were breaking to techno, so I was like, dang, this is so new. This is like so awesome, All right, so this isn't just Hmong people. It's like it's bigger than that. So then that's when I started learning more.
Oh,
And cool, how old were you at that time? You were
I
young.
was like, I don't know, I was 9, 10
damn,
years
that's
old.
young, is
yeah.
it?
He was young. I was like 16, dragging him and y'all everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember when we just signed you up to battle, and then me and Money were watching, and the dude's battling you, and he's biting his shoes and stuff. Me and Money just looked at each other, dude. We're like, I've never seen him do that
just
before.
changed the game.
Oh, yo, I've never seen this type of stuff before. Even still to this day, I was like, damn, dude.
Nobody else has.
Nobody else has that style. Like,
Nobody
His-
can bite him. He's
his
the
style
real
is
biter.
basically specifically biting his shoes. Like, damn, that's crazy.
He's unbiteable. Sound bite. Yeah.
So Zeus, besides the local cats, what are some like other b-boys that really inspired you too?
Yeah.
Oh, like nationally,
Yeah,
internationally.
like, you know,
Internationally.
you know how like you used to bring like Battle of the Year VHS and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
watch it like
Man.
like on that level. Which b-boys on that level
Yeah,
when
as
Oh man,
like
I
inspired you? You know.
had so many, but you know, starting out, I always wanted to be like a really good power head.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll put like B-Boy Blonde up there from Extreme Crew
Yeah.
because I was like the variations of air flare he
Hell
was doing was like
yeah.
crazy, like touch toe, Nikes,
Yeah.
the bouncing,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, he's one of mine. For American, oh man, there's so many, but I'll put like I put Javi Coro up there. I was a fan of them
Dope,
from
dope.
Texas. And I love how Lil Jon dances.
Yeah.
You know, he could pop, and he doesn't just do the regular up rock. So I kind of like wanted to do my style of dancing like that instead of just the Bronx rock.
Yeah,
I'll
just-
just do my whatever and freestyle it,
Yeah,
dance
I can see that. I can
house
see that.
style.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, that's dope. And plus, and you know, from their crew, Moy, Boy, and Marlon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are really like awesome with their blow ups and their
Yeah.
power moves. So I was like very inspired by them too. And you know, for once I started getting to like, you know, like what you might call it, blow ups, tricks. I put Lilu, you know, from France. He was crazy, and back because I was like, oh wait,
from
I got a lot of his
Extreme Crew.
moves too. You know, and Brahim.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I can really say. But I really like a lot of Americans.
Yeah.
You know.
I still remember like Khan was saying, you know, like Battle of the Year. I remember coming to your house and you would put on Battle of the Year.
Oh
And I
yeah.
still remember too the Gamblers was the first crew I saw, and I was like, damn, I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
be like them. You know? Seeing
That's-
Bruce Lee,
Korea.
seeing the end,
Yeah.
and like all the battles they're doing,
Darkness.
and, like, seeing, like physics and all that. I was like, dang, Korea is
Yeah.
crazy. You
Oh,
know?
yeah,
So
they blew it
I
up
still
in the
remember
early
showing those
2000s.
videos to us. So
Yeah.
like I'm sure like Gamblers and them all played a big role too, right? Gamblers,
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like,
Extreme,
oh, with the power moves, like man,
Yeah.
I want my air flare to look that nice with my holdback, so I could, you know, hold it as long as those guys. Like
yeah,
they had it so technically clean.
right.
Yep, and even like before Gamblers and Rivers, like the number one Korean crew was Expression Crew,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Expression was
That was
crazy battle of the
the
year.
top. They were at the top
To the
for a
top
while,
a bit, yeah.
battle wise and show wise, and then
Yeah.
eventually like Gamblers and Rivers just took off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you could say like that time, early 2000s, the Koreans they did take power moves to another level, right?
Oh yeah. It's like, man, these little 12-year-olds doing air flare. What?
They ain't got no footwork
Yeah.
and tops, but they just can do head spins for like 100 rounds
Yeah.
at full speed.
Back to air flare. Like what? They're superhumans. You know?
So when you started competing more, who would you say was kind of like a rival to you?
Me, man, since, you know, I didn't really get to go out and blow out later, I'd say, like, at the time, probably like Minnesota Joe or the people from, what's that crew? Slim's crew? I forgot their
Slim's
name,
crew.
though. Yeah.
Sure, I forgot.
And
too.
also Daylight's crew.
Daylight's crew.
You know,
Self-X?
Junk
yeah,
Wars.
Self-X.
Oh,
Yeah.
Junk Wars.
Junk
right?
Wars,
Was
yeah.
that their
Oh
crews?
yeah, so long ago, I forgot their names, their crew names. Yeah, you know,
And-
just to beat them in the competition, or you know, it kind of inspires you to get better too. When you see that
Yeah.
guy get moves, you want to get that something better than his,
Yeah,
or
you want one up, man.
yeah, one
right?
up
Yeah.
him, or something to answer him back.
That's hella funny because I remember talking to Ozzy some random time, and I was like, man, Zeus, man, he was so good. Because every time he saw somebody do a movie, he would do it like hell. He would do it like so good or just as good as somebody else. And we were so mad because he was so good at learning so fast. And we freaking hated Zeus because he was so good.
And then Ozzy, shout out to Ozzy. He's another friend of ours who breaks.
Ozzy was on my
And he's in
rival too.
Warriors crew.
Yeah. Shout out.
So,
Ozzy.
so we had this question on the last few episodes. I forgot when, but they're talking about beef between the Minnesota Hmong boys and the Cali Hmong boys.
Yeah, B-Boy Dummy asked us
there-
that question.
Because I know like you went out there, you flew out there to battle too. Was there actually any beef? Because in my head we were young. We don't.
Oh,
I know there was like YouTube beef where like people were just talking shit.
Just
on
a little
YouTube.
talking shit. Not much of a beef.
Yeah.
You know, first, I guess at the time we didn't know what the terms were for us in Midwest, and you know, if Pong, one of our crewmates, Pong, if he did like his move, the legs behind his head, and we're like, yo, that's dope. We'll call it, I don't know, the spider, and then the Cali people would come, that's the animal style. You guys don't know nothing. And we're like, who's these
Yeah, we
people?
don't know nothing.
Yeah, we don't
What
know
the
nothing.
fuck?
Yeah, you know, and it started going back for, oh, your moves look like that guy, and then we'll come back up, man, you da biter. So it started with that. It wasn't not too much of a beef, but then it was finally one of our homie Suki, who was from Cali, I think it was Merced. Me and him were going back and forth with it. Not big beef, but then I finally he asked me, hey, is it cool I fly down and you want to show me how your scene is? Because you know, I really want to see how Hmong people in Minnesota do it. And I'm like, yeah, just come through. We'll have a buddy pick you up, and you can stay at one of our buddies' house and stuff. So that's how the Minnesota Hmong and Minnesota, California Hmong people kind of connected. Because before that, we're on a different side of the world.
Just YouTube comments.
Yeah,
And shit.
so finally Suki comes through and tells us, because he knows a lot of the Hmong crews in California. You know, like, was that Underground Flow and Air Steps and Wizards crew. So he came over and, you know, we just kicked it, went into a jam together, battled together, and just had a good time. And then finally he told me, hey, since I'm moving to Oklahoma, but we got some friends that you could come and battle Doom from Air Step, and you could go break with California people in Fresno. So I'm like, all right, I'll take you off to it. So I just flew down there, and man, a lot of B-boys there, and like, you know, they're more power at the time. They were more into power moves, and their flow was, you know, was a little different than ours. You know, they do a lot of like the Korean stuff, sliding on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we're more like drunk style kind of at the time. Yeah. So, and then I got to session with Air Steps crew and Wizards crew. They were really nice. They didn't act uptight. I battled them at a club, random club, and then they invited me to this place, Romaine Park, and got to session. And then finally I went to Sacramento and then got to battle their buddy Doom in a 3-round. Yeah, and I said I did all right. I didn't get smoke.
You didn't let the voice out, did you?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So obviously Zeus is a big impact in the Minnesota breaking scene. I mean, especially to the Hmong cats here. He's like, like who said in the intro, he's a pioneer for the Hmong cats here. I guess it would be weird to have you talk about your impact, but I just want to get your thoughts too. Like, do you feel like you left an impact on the scene too?
I don't view it like that, but I think it does. I guess it does show when like a lot of the older cats or people that used to break, especially Hmong people, they would come up to me, "Hey, Zeus, I remember you. I remember you." I'm at the bar and people are like, "Hey, Breaker Boy Zeus," and I don't even remember them, but they'll like, so, you know, buy me shots or say hi to me. So, you know, I guess I did put an impact on that. Mostly because at the time in high school, I was going to every high school to battle people and just to hang out with them. So it wasn't like I didn't want to just stay at North High. Ain't nobody here. I go to Park Center. I want to go to Roseville. I went to you know, Edison, Roseville, Hector Henry, Washburn. I went to all their homecoming to welcome me, to take care of them, you know, and take over. And I battled like all in the Coon Rapids High School. Homecoming, I battled the best dude there. So it was, and then also really like get to know them, and then through their friends and all that, then I got to break with them outside of school.
Bro, those is really the day. This was like no internet back then. You just
Yeah.
go to the school.
There wasn't much jams either.
No,
So that's how you battle.
Yeah, you just go to people's homecoming or
Yeah.
prom.
I
or
remember
something.
one time, because my older brother he was still breaking at this time too. So him and his crew were gonna meet up with these middle schoolers at the park, right?
Yeah.
So I came with them. We all rode in bikes. It was like 20 deep, and then we got to the park, and there was like 3 of them who met up with us at the park.
Like, y'all
So
both
we're like,
jumped
all
them.
right. It does look like that, but they're like, hey, because we were supposed to meet them at the park, and then they would take us to their house for us to battle them at their house. And then we got to the park. They're like, hey, yeah, my mom don't like too many people coming over, so we're gonna choose 3 people to come with us to battle. So we're like, all right, so these 3 go battle with it, and then we just came back to my house. And waited for them to come back to tell us the story.
Yeah, we won.
I feel
We beat
so
them.
old just explaining the story. I was like, damn, I feel old
Good
as
times.
hell.
The day
Good
is the
times,
story.
man.
3 at a time
When
again in
I
the
was young,
house.
so it feel like, damn, when someone my age was like, damn, that's old. I'm like, damn, that is pretty old, man. That's weird, but that was pretty fun though.
That's how you
Just
did
not
it.
seeing it on like a video camera or anything, but them just telling you the story, like, yeah, man, or you just going there yourself to experience.
Urban
Those-
legends.
yeah.
Man. It was like urban stories.
Yeah.
Those are crazy.
And then like I would like to add on that you did definitely make like an impact in the Minnesota breaking scene, because back then like there was a lot of Hmong people in Minnesota that was breaking, right? But for some reason we just kind of stuck in our circle with Hmong people.
Mm-hmm.
But then you were that guy like, yo, come to me to this jam. Then we go to jam, and then it's like we step outside of our comfort zone, just staying within Hmong, like the Hmong community, right? So that's when like you expose us to like Johnny Craze and them, their events, Warriors and like all these other crews. And like I would say, you were that guy who bridged the gap where you introduced the Hmong community to like the real breaking community in Minnesota, and that kind of helped us understand like the true essence and culture of breaking in itself. So I just want to add, like, I think you did make a big impact, and there was a time where there was a bunch of Hmong people who would just go to jams and watch, and it was packed as heck. You remember those days? Like people don't even break, Hmong kids don't even break it. They go to jams just to watch. You know what I'm saying? That's
we were
crazy.
selling tickets for them. We made the biggest crowd for them.
Dude, it was crazy.
I mean, this guy was in the tennis courts at J4 Breakin, and I remember this dude was rocking Romas, Puma Romas, and after that, everybody started rocking Romas. Even I wanted Romas. Me, Zeus, Wealthy, Vin, we all fucking bought Romas just because of Zeus. Man. Like, yo, this guy's a beast. He rocking some Romas. I'm rocking some too.
And then they sponsor you.
Transcend. Come on. Puma, pay me.
That shit. This guy has such a big impact in the scene. It's crazy, man.
That's dope. Did you feel like all those sacrifices of just breaking paid off?
I personally, I wish that I would have like kept it up more. Like I never really reached my full potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, personally, that's me personally. But like me, and generally, yeah, I feel like it really paid off because like I got to see all my cousins and friends join and do something that I love, that could appreciate what I like too. I'm not the only one watching b-boy battles.
Yeah.
At least y'all could watch with me. I'm like, yeah. And also meeting a lot of friends and just really b-boying, with musicality, understanding flow and stuff. It really opened up my view in music too. Oh, I like these type of music too now. Funk, jazzy, rap to hip hop to a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yep. And then since we were talking on that topic, I want to bring up why did you stop breaking? And before we start that too, like I feel like in general, for some reason, the breaking and breaking, like when someone stops, they're looked down upon, right? Like, oh, this dude stopped because of this or that. But I feel like it's good to talk about why people would stop, because like there is a reason why, like you stop and all of us stop, right? But like, yeah, starting off. So how come you stopped breaking?
Man, there's a lot of things. Mostly, you got like family issues. You just gotta like you started having like a little more stress, and then now you gotta balance it out. that was mainly mine, and then also just work, and then that takes a toll. And plus, I was going to school too, and then, once you do that, then you kind of go off the route, and then when you go off the route, and you kind of lose interest in it. The fire kind of stops because there's so many things going on at the same time. And then when you try to get back into it, but you're still always worried about, man, I gotta get this bill paid, or I gotta help this family member with some money or issue, and then later you're like, oh man, I can't keep up with it no more. That thing sucks. That hurts the most.
Yeah.
And you also, I'm not gonna like with every fighter or boxer, I'm not gonna enter a jam when I'm not in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Or to get beat up or to beat myself up. That's gonna embarrass myself too, and it's gonna make it look just dumb in general. Battling a guy and it's like, oh, he ain't even training in a while. He just wants to come back. So that's why. And a lot of stuff why I kind of slowed down and quit.
Yeah, because I think even for me, we all kind of stopped breaking like that, and there's
what? No, I'm just kidding.
They're it definitely it definitely is a hard realization, right? Even for me, when I stopped dancing, I was like, damn, I don't have an identity anymore, because breaking was such a strong identity of mine. So I had to kind of reinvent myself. So, but I think a lot of people who are doing breaking or are interested, there's a harsh reality behind it, because b-boys and big girls and just art in general, you live the starving artist lifestyle, right? You're doing what you love to do, but you're not really making steady income from it, so you got to really make sacrifices.
No, definitely.
Yep. And then there comes I know we all probably realize there comes a time in life where life hits and you have to make a decision. Do I keep struggling and do what I love, or do I focus on my priorities, right? Some people, they focus on their passion and they keep living the starving artist lifestyle, or they're doing pretty okay with it, or they just stop.
Shout outs to all those guys though.
Still
teaching, breaking. Jake and all of them guys.
Boogie B.
Finisher,
Impact, making it real big.
And just not even the guys making it big, but just people just doing it for fun. I still look at everyone that's still doing it, and they're just doing it for the passion, and they just love it.
I really respect that.
They're not in it to make it big, but they're just in it because they love the dance. And so to me, I big ups to them too. I was like, damn, that's because there was a point there was a few points in my life where I was like, you know what, man, I'm getting injured a lot. I'm not, I can't really compete too much anymore, man. I can't. I should stop breaking. But every time I go out, I just see people break because they love it. I'm like, damn. Okay, I gotta kind of take a step back and just think damn, I can just do it for the love of it. Sometimes you don't always have to push yourself to be the best. But I'm a competitive person, and a lot of people are competitive too. But I think sometimes you guys just take the step back and be like, I'm just doing it for the love.
Definitely.
But I think it's more breaking mentality. You want to be the best b-boy in the world. That's why you practice every day.
When you don't have the fire anymore, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah,
you need to be the best.
Yeah, that's my reason why I want to get back, but I can slack on it because I'm man, I know I ain't gonna be the best no more, man. But then when I get back to it, I want to at least be a fucking dope ass b-boy. I don't care about being the best anymore.
I mean, y'all know we could still get down if we wanted to. Yeah, that's facts.
I need to lose some pounds first.
I think we grew up. Because obviously breaking, you got to battle someone, so you're always trying to up someone else.
Right.
Yeah. So we grew up doing that so much that when you just, I'm just here to just break for fun. No, man, I want to battle. That's something that's.
If I'm not battling, I ain't breaking.
Yeah, you become better because of battles. Because if you just session and practice each other, you don't see nobody different. You don't see nobody else bringing nothing new to the table, and that's how you get better. Yeah. Zeus, I want to also just backtrack a little bit to just the history of you. Yourself, so obviously you met the local cats Propaganda and them.
Okay.
And obviously you started your own crew too. So I just wanted to kind of ask about that. Do you obviously collaboration? How did all that begin and all of that too?
Word. Man, I think my first crew was in Wisconsin. We had 3-4 members. We were called Little Buddha Juniors.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Even before collab.
Yeah. 7th grade. Shout outs to Mong Vang, who was helped me a lot with the power moves. he used to teach us to do this sign that didn't represent Buddha. But I was like, man, that's the blood sign, man. So we used to do that dumb as heck. Could have got jumped. So that was my first crew. And then when I moved up here, I was kind of alone for a bit, just breaking with friends at Olsen Middle School. But then I brought in like 30 people that started breaking because of me. We have the after school program. But then I didn't really have a crew because these kids were they just did it because I was doing it and they want to hang out with me.
Yeah.
Not saying I was a superstar, but they don't want to
They
hang out
weren't
with me.
about the culture. Man.
Yeah, they just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's fun. Zeus is doing it. We're all doing it. And then finally I had a buddy named, I went to, go North High. Same thing again. Bunch of mostly Hmong cats breaking with me. They didn't take it seriously. They just still did it because there's something to do. But I had a buddy named Long who really followed and kept up with me and wanted to break. And I'm like, okay. So me and him were like pretty much the only guys. And then Sean Spellman came too. So us three were like the three trio. We'll meet up at my house all the time.
Trio. I remember that trio.
We'll break. So
Long, the one who used to be our neighbor, right
yeah,
there.
the 2000 guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever met Long.
I'm not sure.
No, I think you were in Arkansas
think
that
you were
time.
there.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
So
Yeah.
even when I moved to Brooklyn Park, Sean and Long would come to my house and break every other day. And then one day we went to this Hmong market festival or talent show where I met up with Ku and Kong there too.
Was it?
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, me, Sean. I think you guys were there too. We were breaking on the pavement, and that's when I met another group, Collaboration. They didn't have the name Collaboration yet though, but they were just a bunch of cousins.
Yeah.
And then we met them, battled, and of course they had their neighbors like Roger and Pong come and break at them, and then they invited me and Sean and Long, and then soon we kind of just joined up with them, and it became Collaboration.
Okay.
And then things started it wasn't too long, but things started falling out, which I don't want to get into the details. We laid to squash it, and then we broke off and just formed initially Break Brats. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to know how
initially
did you
Break
guys even come up with that name?
Brats. We were just breaking, and then we're mostly every time we break, practicing was on the basement floor, and it's always like rugs, right?
Yeah.
It's always rugs, and we're always breaking with rugs, and it burns, and we always got like all these like carpet burns on our elbows doing spins. And then one day, one of us was like, man, we're like crawling on the floor like the baby's like Rugrats. It's like that show Rugrats.
Yeah.
And then but we're breaking, and we're pretty bratty. All right, called Break Brats. That's how it is. And then later, with all you guys came in, with Wealthy Moore, everyone. Then just when Looney Tunes after that just changed up.
How did it go from Break Brats to Looney Tunes? Like who made that switch to rename it to Looney Tunes?
Honestly, there was a lot of input. I wasn't first I remember Matt was saying Monster Inc. That's how he got with Monster Matt. Yeah. I remember that, and I was like, I don't know. And then I remember me and Joe like Looney Tunes, but there were some people who were saying, yeah, Looney Tunes, like Roger. Mostly it was like me, Joe, and Matt that I remember, and Roger that I recall. Pong was too quiet, remember? It was quiet. Yeah, we're like this calling so. We're kind of crazy at the time, when you're kids, you like to do a lot of stupid shit. And so we're like Looney, like the show Looney Tunes. And we're like, why? It's like, because every character, they have their own character. Power moves, all our moves are not the same for the most part. We're all really different. So we wanted to choose a familiar cartoon show, I guess, to depict us. So we went with Looney Tunes, but then we changed the tunes, the Toon. The spelling for cartoon, the Tunes as tunes, music. So that's kind of how it came about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because from the outside, my initial thought was, because Propaganda changed to Power Rangers, and they kind of named themselves after like a show, and each of them are unique. And I was like, is that why you guys kind of renamed yourself to Looney Tunes? Just kind of like, not like saying you're copying them, but just saying like, oh, that's kind of a cool name. Maybe we should change our name to. So that like they didn't have any influence on that or anything like that.
No, from what I know, no, we were just mainly because like a lot of our people were kind of quitting the original break branch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Sean was doing his own thing. Long got married. 2 or 3 of the people that were with us, they just stopped coming over, and then we're like, man, this is not really no more break brats. It's just kind of, you know, me, Joe, and Matt, or me, Joe, and Roger, and Punk's still with collab. Matt's still solo, and so, and then finally, I think it was when Dalla and his friends, like Wealthy and more, we were still break brats at the time, but when you guys came over, you guys were breaking with us.
We were ISC.
Yeah, you guys were ISC. Yeah, that's right.
Skills crew.
Yeah, you guys are breaking, and we're like, there's 3 break brats, but you guys have more numbers than us. And then later, that kind of made like, you know, Pong came back to our crew or so, and then Matt started, hey, I want to come join y'all again. I ain't solo no more. You know, and then then prior, then I asked, you know, Wealthy and everyone to start joining. Then that's when we were like, we can't be break wrestling. Let's change it up, you know, because everyone's already quit, done. This like whole new superheroes joined the crew. Every time there's new members, you're not the X-Men no more. You're X-Force or X-Factor now. Yeah. So that's how I initially feel how we changed our name.
All right. And then obviously now we're the Loonies.
Yeah.
And then for me, I felt like the change was because Looney Tunes was obviously, it could be a copyright issue.
Right.
And then also I kind of felt like it was a name to not be taken seriously.
Too kiddish.
Too
I
childish.
Honestly, I didn't really like the name.
I wasn't a big fan of the name too, but obviously, you know, you guys were the one who like invited us to, hey, let's become one. So I was like, let's become one as Looney Tunes. And then so we now became the Loonies because it was a more serious, and it still had, you know, like a homage to Looney Tunes.
And
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, and I think like honestly, I don't even think we cared much about the name because we had like such a strong bond. So it's like, man, whatever we're called, we're like family. You know, so it don't even matter. But then like I do like the name the Loonies because that, you know, changing from Looney Tunes to the Loonies, it's kind of like we all grew up, or you know, like so like we kind of matured, and like, you know, Loonies have the word loon in it. You know, that's the Minnesota bird. Yeah, so it's just kind of like
a lot of connections.
Yeah. So I thought it was it made sense in the end.
You know what's funny? Loonies actually mean like Canadian money.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I learned that because I was rocking the Loonies shirt at State Fair, and there was the one that was reversed, and this lady saw it, and she was like, Loonies. What does that mean? I was like, oh, it's our crew name. We're like a breaking crew. And she's like, oh, okay, because I know it as like Canadian money. And I was like, oh, well, I never knew that. Like, that's
Canadian cool. Currency. We're the dollars.
It's like, I forgot what specifically, but it's something about Canadian money.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Nice. But man, we gotta talk about this shirt you got on, man.
What?
Street Fighter 2.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I got one question to ask you.
Yeah.
Street Fighter or Tekken?
Man, Street Fighter all the way. That's original, man. I gotta say that because I'm old school. I know you guys like Tekken more. Yeah.
I kind of like both, so I don't really have a fight in there.
I think I like Tekken a little more just because the combos were easier and more swift versus Street Fighter was more like like just quick little animations, not like fully loaded at like
Street Fighter's
animations.
2-dimensional. Tekken's 3D is more ranges.
Yeah, I like Tekken more because it was easier to button smash. Well, Street Fighter, you gotta know the combos instead of just a dumb jab over and over again.
I'm old school. You know, growing up, is the big ones for the Super Nintendo was Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. But I was more of a Street Fighter guy because I found Mortal Kombat at the time, like everyone had the same moves, like, you know, the image looked the same. It was kind of rigid, and the combos were a little like harder to do. And I don't know. I like animation art more than human pixel. Image. Yeah. So I was more Street Fighter.
I just had to ask you that.
I also wanted to add, Zeus. What are like some of your favorite break-in moments that you can think of, man? Because you had a long career, so I'm kind of curious.
Man, break-in moments, man. I don't know. I I'd say, when me, Matt, and Joe won our first Minnesota
Hey,
Jam,
I
that one
remember
was
that.
like, oh,
I remember
okay,
that.
finally.
Yeah.
Was that what's it called? Underground something or?
No, it's Battlegrounds too.
Battlegrounds too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like, oh, okay, finally, like we're a force to reckon with. We're not just that crew that shows up to lose.
Yeah, and like for those,
That was
little-
such a defining moment.
yeah, a little Minnesota breaking history. Back then, Minnesota Joe and Lowe's Boogie, they will fucking win every damn jam.
Like
Like,
imagining them,
yeah.
always like, dang, we're just there
Yeah.
to get roasted.
They were like winning every jam. The jam Battlegrounds 2 was a 3v3, and it was just Lowe's Boogie and Minnesota Joe. And even that final battle was close, in my opinion.
I
Like
was
even
oh,
even that was
close.
close.
It could go either
2v3, like damn.
It was crazy.
And I don't know. Mainly, anytime I hit a cool ass combo, that's about it. In practice or at a jam, yeah. I don't really have like one where it's like, speaks out to me.
I know.
Personally.
Also we talked about the first move you learned. What would you say is like the hardest move you've ever learned?
Man, to me, there's a lot, but
You learned a lot of hard moves, bro. You had a lot of hard moves, man.
I'd say I say for me personally, it's still halos and head spins. They're really tough for me. Head spins I could get it if I get back in the windmill into it. I could do that, but if I just push, I can't really continue it.
Okay.
Halos hard because my head's not shaped for that, so it hurts. My head's like a square. It's not really round on the top, so I was like, so I always struggle with those moves. So, yeah.
Okay.
Personally, yeah.
Okay. I remember back in the Hmong soccer tournament J4 days when we used to break at the tennis court. And then every now and then there'll be like some out of town B-boys, right? And you're not there, but like all of us like Minnesota Hmong B-boys are there. And like these out of towners are pretty damn good, right? So like they'll be like doing some pretty good combos. And at the time I was like 13, whack as hell at breaking. So it didn't know much. So it was like everybody, even me, like everybody there was like, man, where the fuck is Zeus so we can smoke with these dudes, man?
Y'all waiting for me like Goku.
Yeah, we were waiting for you like Goku, for real. Like, you were like Goku, dude.
The
And then,
leader,
like,
where's he at?
dude, for real. And then, like, when you came, everybody's like, everybody was like, oh, Zeus is here, Zeus is here. And then, boom, Zeus came.
It's a stalemate
You
until
know,
Goku
like,
shows up.
like those fucking Jet Li movies back in the day, and like,
Zeus
he's here, and when they're getting the ass beat in their own school and shit.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
like, so then you came, and then every time you just fucking do your fucking crazy ass blow ups. Ear chair, elbow up, thread, elbow, ear chair, and then all these out of towners like, damn, he's dope as fuck.
Those are always fun
Like-
times. Always like chilling with some friends or a girl, and then all of a sudden people, hey Zeus, some kid would run up to me. They're breaking. I'm like, I think my cousin, my crewmate, they got them. All right, let me go check. Let's see if they getting whooped. If they whooping. Those was fun. Yeah, I remember those. At
Yeah,
July 4th
I just
tournament.
remember those
Soccer
funny times, man.
Yeah.
You definitely like a GOAT at that time, for sure.
Yeah, those were exciting times.
Yeah.
I was like, what, it's 18, 17? Around there? 19? Yeah.
So now, do you, when you're looking at the scene right now, when you slowly stopped, was there kind of a direction where you wanted just the scene to go?
Not really. I can't say because, like with everything with, pop culture life, you can't really control whatever. So I don't really focus on that too much. Wherever it goes, just, appreciate where it's going right now. I didn't, not really. It's like, I know the scene changed a lot though. Like when I watch it and people show me, it's like all style dances now, or popping and house dance is huge now. That's not my repertoire, but I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm not like, hey, I gotta go this way, breaking. No, so not at all.
Yeah. I would say like a lot of the dance styles now they're more appreciated because I remember back then, even like just not even too recent, like the poppers had their own small spot, and breakers had all the big spots to practice.
So I feel
But
a
now
little
I
bad
feel
for them.
like now the other dance styles have their own space to practice, and they're actually getting like more recognition,
Yeah,
which
they
I
got
was like,
a place
damn,
to
I
shine
respect that,
now.
man.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like shit. Damn, imagine like Breakin was just super small, and you have a different dance that everyone just focused on. It's like damn. But now that they get the recognition, well, now I feel like they're getting way bigger now. I kind of feel like, damn, this is dope. This is kind of where I want Minnesota to go. Just don't stick to strictly break,
Right.
Learn like a different style.
Oh yeah.
Or like go to a different dance scene instead of just a breaking jam,
And I enjoy it too. Watching it, I'm not mad. It's not breaking no more the way I danced. It's so different now. Where I like it like that.
Dope.
And then we obviously are me, Kukan, are like 90s kids. You're late 80s guy. So we kind of grew up in the era where, internet came along, right? So the differences of, breaking back then compared to now, and what would you say is like your impact of the internet on you? Like being able to see, oh shoot, like check out these cats that are hella dope online or something and all that.
Man, you mean like as an adult now, or if I was a kid?
So if you look back now, what's like the differences of breaking now and then also the impact of the internet on you when you're breaking?
Going to the high schools, man.
Like physically having to
go to the high school.
You can't. Yeah, like that's the thing. You can't. Like I could just sit at home and watch Breakin' and stuff now, like in my own comfort zone. I don't have to, with internet or with technology in general. Yeah, I don't have to go to the high schools no more to break or watch people. Also, the information gets passed so quick now, where you can see some moves are like getting all shared with everybody. Everyone's doing everyone's moves now or concept, and that's a big one. And that I think that's why breakers these days, young age, they get better now than when I was in the 90s, where we were just doing whatever. You don't see nobody doing it. You're just doing it for yourself. If you're lucky, you cop a VHS with some Koreans breaking on it or something. So it's definitely changed. With the media, you could just watch so many information coming in and out from different countries, and even with dance styles too. So it's a big difference. Yeah, I mean, if I was to be a kid right now, man, I don't know what I say. Man, maybe I'd just be lazy on a tablet, not breaking, just watching it.
I think I remember you used to connect with like some of the Korean b-boys too, through like MySpace or something, or some social platforms or something.
Not too much, just chit chat with a few.
Just like, hey, what's up? What's a Messenger? Not the
MSN Messenger. I had a bunch of but I can't really tell which person stuck out to me.
Yeah, it didn't really impact you, right?
Yeah, it didn't really. Yeah, just okay. What's up? That's it.
So I just think it's crazy like that. Like now we just message anybody on Facebook, but back then, like, oh, I got the MSN Messenger of this guy. Yeah. Let's chat with him, But now it's like, all right, everybody can chat now,
Or give him a like or something.
I feel like it's a lot more appreciated back then because you just don't get it. You don't get it like that. You have to like actually go and see, or you have to like download a video super long, like LimeWire or something. Like you have to wait like a few hours or a few days for it to download. Like just like a small short clip. Like that, people are like, "Oh, damn, this is dope." And but for now, it's like you see a quick video. It's like, oh, all right. There's like 30 other videos like that. It goes by so quick now.
YouTube too.
Yeah,
you don't have to sit for an hour just to watch a guy do 3 air flares. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
And then Zous, like, besides with breaking, I know like around that time frame you were breaking a lot. You were also like really into wrestling. And I know you were like really good at it. Like, can you talk a bit more about like your wrestling experience, like how'd you got into it, and like you winning competitions left and right?
That's an interesting one. So I didn't really, I did a little bit of karate when I was in, combat sports. I did a little bit of karate, but not really full contact. And when I was like 4th and 5th grader, and after that I just kind of stuck to the ball sports. Like soccer was a big one here and there, basketball. And then when I went to North High School, I think I was in the 9th grade. I just got done playing. I was on the varsity team of soccer for their team, and then the season was done, and I didn't know what to do. And like, okay, I'll join track. But then my buddy, he's a 10th grader. He was like a really stocky guy. He was like my Hmong Fakia, like French Hmong people. So he had an accent like, yeah, what's up, man? Zeus, yeah. So I was like, okay. Well, he's really buff and stocky. He was like, hey, you should join wrestling since soccer's done. I'm like, wrestling? Like, wrestling? Like, what do you mean? Like,
WWE?
yeah. Like SmackDown, Monday Night Raw? What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, no. Just come after school and let me show you some stuff or whatever. And then, I watch him, but he's wrestling with some guy, amateur wrestling. They're just like hand fighting a lot on a few takedowns. And I was like, and then, when you're riding a guy, I'm like, what the hell? That shit look like when you're on top of a person controlling him to try to get a pin. I was like, that seems kind of gay. Like you're rubbing on each other. And, at the time you're thinking about, stand up, kicks, punches only, boxing, Muay Thai. So I'm like, no, this looks kind of dumb. I told him that, and he's like, all right, you used to do karate, right? I'm like, yeah. All right, let's see if you could take me down. You could punch and kick, and you could wrestle. I'll just wrestle you. What? But I'm like, that's not fair. You could punch too. And then that was the mistake I told him. He said, okay. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing. We started. I kicked him a little bit, and he took me down. He got on top of me. He punched me in the face like 4 times. And I got on my back. He just punched me. And my nose is like bleeding. And I'm like, yo, what the heck? And I'm like, no. This is one more time. I was like, and I couldn't believe it. But, when I tried it again, same result. And I'm like, holy cow, it's like, he's like a gorilla on me. I can't even do shit. So then that's when I was like, hey, can I join? Because I just want to, learn. Because it humbled my ass, I want to learn how to kick his ass now, So then I ended up joining, and wow. And then once I, 2 months into it, you start getting the hold of it. And now you're like, oh, okay. The leverage and all that. And, at the time I was doing okay. I just started but then I was in varsity. I was like JV. So, my record on the JV was good, but on the varsity when they need me, it was shit. Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm going against these like 11th grader, 12th grader. I'm a 9th grader, like 112 pounds. And then, finally they took all the JVs in the cities, all Minneapolis, and they had a tournament for like the JV or first year. So you could go against a junior who's in the JV. So I'm a 9th grader, and I kicked the shit out of everybody. Yeah. I'm like, oh. And I got the medal, and they're like, you'll be a promising varsity wrestler one day. Okay. And sadly, 10th grade, I didn't get to really wrestle. I got like, 2-3 matches, but we moved to Brooklyn Park from Minneapolis. So then I just didn't do it. So I was just,
But weren't you like a beast at Park Center too?
I rejoined back in junior year. I wasn't gonna go to. I was like, it's my past, and then I did all right. I was a JV champ, but then they needed people, and then I was like, and I looked. Park Center was ass. Like all the kids weren't that good, even though. But there's like 3 good people, and I'm like, okay, man, let me go try. So then I went there and I beat the guy in my weight class, like. Pretty simple, but he looked like Rambo, like ripped. Yeah. He looked like Rambo with hair. And then I remember he had math class with me, and then he had the wrestling gears and all that. And I was like, oh man, that's what I used to do. So I asked him, do you wrestle? Yeah. I'm like, what weight class? He goes, because I might have went up already. So I'm like, yeah, I'm on 125. Let me ask him, what weight class? 125. And he sounded just like Rambo. And I was like, oh, I'm 125 too. He's like, oh, hey, do you think you could tell me when practice is? He's like, it starts this week. Yeah, it starts this week. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he showed me, and then we wrestled, and the coach saw, because, the coach knows him. He's been there for a bit. And then I beat him, and I kept beating him. Like, I made him, like... He couldn't really do nothing to me. I just take him down. I controlled him, and then he kind of got disappointed. Like, man, this new guy from North High is beating me. He took my spot. Yeah, and then in junior year, I was like, oh, okay, my first time as varsity. And then I did pretty decent, man, like 20 and 15, 19, 15, something like that. So it was like solid. And then my senior year, I did pretty good. I went like 36 and 4 or 5.
Damn.
But both the year I went to state. The first year, junior year, I didn't think I was going to state. I was like, this is my first time as varsity. Like, but I was like, whoa, I did. I beat all the top region. I did top 2, and I went to state. So I represent, like top 16 in the whole Minnesota.
Yeah, that was
And
hella
then,
dope.
yeah, senior year, then everyone started noticing. Oh, that's Zeus. He breaks and he wrestles.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you ever get a scholarship at all?
No.
Anything like that?
No, but I wish I wrestled earlier, and then I would have done really good.
Yeah.
I got offered to wrestle at St. Olaf just to get on the team and stuff, but I was like, no, maybe let me join the National Guards or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for that, it seemed like it was just something that you did just to do it.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't really like
He
a
was a
passion.
beast,
It wasn't. Yeah. It was just,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at this. I'm probably
It was-
better at wrestling than breaking, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's 2 different things.
Yeah.
Very different thing. Yeah.
And it's probably not as expressive as breaking. That's probably why, huh?
Yeah. It's just grinding. It's grinding and different technique. Breaking is really subjective. Like, who's better than who? I like this guy's style more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dope though. Didn't they know you? I was like, oh, he's the Hmong wrestler too.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke to some Hmong wrestlers. They're like, oh, Zoua? Yeah, I heard of him. I was like, damn, this dude known in the wrestling community too.
I think I remember there was like an article on you, right? Was that like the Park Center article, or was it actually like a local news article?
I think it was Brooklyn Park area.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope, yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 2 of those snippets, and I was also, on the Twin City, the state. They'll have your name, and there's actually a picture of me wrestling at the state tournament at the XL Energy Center. But I lost those papers, so I was like, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of. I didn't really meet too many Hmong people through wrestling. Maybe like 2, 3, but yeah, it's kind of surprising when people heard of me wrestling too. Especially Henry. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So Zeus, we also like to talk about gaming and ghost stories because we all like to do that. But before that, I just wanted to give you a chance. Is there anything you want to share specifically about breaking, wrestling, or just yourself to people that they might not know about you, or just anything interesting you want to talk about?
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't really think about myself.
Yeah, because we got the questions, but sometimes
dang.
people don't ever get the questions they want to have answers that they
Yeah.
want to answer.
Or like they don't have we didn't touch on a story or a message they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't prepared. Y'all caught me off guard. But, not to say much, but I'm big into reading, and I'm big into like fantasy drama and a little bit of anime. Just kind of caught up into it. Video games here and there, not too much. Mostly Age of Empire on PC. And yeah, I'm a big history nerd and philosophy nerd. Like, I'll just read up on like philosophers and just like World War II, the Holocaust, Iraqi, whatever. Yeah, I'm a history nut.
Yeah.
That's
facts. Because I remember when I used to go to your house as a kid, you would have like wrestling biographies. You'd have The Rock. You'd have like.
Oh, I was a big WWE fan as a kid.
I had like a bunch of books of like those guys and like just stories about them and everything. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I was like looking at through it too with you. So Zeus is definitely a big history guy. A big like, this is cool. I'm gonna learn about this.
I'm just. Yeah, sometimes my friends at work or whatever, they're like, "Man, you're an encyclopedia, dude." I'm like, "Yeah, because I can't sit still. I'm always like, I want to know about stuff. I want to read about this guy who painted this mural or who created this or that." I'm really intrigued in that stuff, and of course, I really like combat sport. Like boxing, MMA, even pro wrestling. Like I haven't caught up with the new ones these days, so I'll read up on, like. Their stories, and it's just like Muhammad Ali, even pro wrestlers like Bret Hart or BJ Penn's stories growing up, like that really like transpire and really helps me going through tough times too.
Dope. Do you guys want to hit him with your?
yeah. So every guest, I always ask them, have you ever experienced any ghost experiences, and if so, can you share them? Again, I love ghost stories. I don't want to experience ghost stuff, but I love to hear about it. Like, so can you share like one of the most scariest experiences you ever experienced?
Man, I believe it was ghosts or it was just me dreaming. But
Mm-hmm.
one time I think I was like 10 in our old house in Wisconsin. I woke up to pee, and like I don't know why, but I opened the crack of my bedroom just to look, because when you're a kid, you're kind of scared.
Mm-hmm.
And in the hallway going to the bathroom, we only have one nightlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's really small and dim, and it makes everything kind of bluish.
Yeah.
But I saw this little girl. She was facing away from me, and she put her hand to the door of the bathroom on the right side of the hallway. But she's probably like from here to the like 15 feet away from me, in front of me. And then I see her turn around, and her hair's like just like boom.
Yeah.
But then she turned around, I didn't see her face. It's all dark, but you could see the silhouette.
Uh-huh.
And then I screamed back. I moved back, and I hit my bed and looked.
Damn.
And then she came up to the crack of my door, and then I was like, "Whoa!" And then she just disappeared. And then I ran really quick, put on the lights and everything, and I was like, "Oh, nothing's here." But then that freaked me out. Yeah, I think I was home alone too, so that freaked me out.
Damn creepy.
Yeah, it's scary.
So that's about the only time, I believe. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe in ghosts these days.
Yeah.
I believe in science, man.
So obviously we are all a bunch of gamers. So we wanted to also ask top 5 games of all time for you.
Damn, that's
Starting at number 5.
You talking about systems or anything?
Top
PC?
5
Anything,
games,
yeah.
like not like system, just like the actual game, like video games.
Oh, okay.
So like let's say
Yeah.
like Street Fighter, blah,
Okay.
blah, or,
Across any consoles.
Yeah, any console.
any
Oh,
consoles.
man.
Top 5 games for you.
Damn, that's tough.
If you're able to name them, yeah.
Oh man, all right, top 5. Starting at number 5. And I gotta go with Street Fighter Alpha 2 for my 5th one,
Okay.
because I just grew up with Street Fighter 2, and that was the first time you like did shadow combos and connected with a punch and kicks, and one Hadouken isn't one hit no more; it's 5 hits.
Right.
Plus Akuma made his debut, and he was like a badass.
Yeah.
And the art style, of course, I like that animation of Capcom. Number 4. I gotta go with the first 2 or 3 SmackDown video games.
Yeah.
What's it called again? The smaller titles at SmackDown. Know Your Role.
Yeah, SmackDown, Just Bring It.
Yeah.
SmackDown, Here Comes
Comes
the
the
Pain.
pain. Here comes the pain was
Central
my favorite
Mouse.
one.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Those were fun nights with me, my cousin Dala, and everybody, just playing.
Yeah.
Season mode to.
Whooping each other's ass.
Whooping each other's ass, table match, ladder match, cage match, Hell in a Cell. Yeah, those. Yeah, that SmackDown series. I know I'm old school, so I don't know the new ones these days. 3, man. This is a hard one, but I'll just throw in. Yeah, I guess I'll put in. Man, this is a tough one. I don't know. I'll just put in Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Classic.
that game got me into the PlayStation. It really sold the PlayStation too, but it's probably the first JRPG I beat and got me into JRPG in general.
Nice.
Yeah, because you don't have to talk about it. There's too many people know it's Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
All right, that's
I remember you used to buy like the strategy guides to help you with.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That thing will walk you through the whole game.
It was a big ass strategy guy too.
Oh yeah, you gotta read it because there's so many things to do, and you can miss. Because to me, you could play those games without it. Just go to the next and go next. But me, I was like, I want to get every item.
Yeah.
I was a hoarder. Like I ain't using these items. I'm just doing it to get it.
Yeah.
I don't even sell them. I just wanted to beat and got it. Yeah, I got the ruby knife. Yeah. So that's why I wanted a strategy guide, just how to get everything, because you can miss things without a strategy guide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then number 2, man. Number 2. Let me see.
I mean, I think you already named one of them, right? Age of Empires.
Oh yeah, that I'll put that one there. Age of Empire 2 and 3.
2, 3.
Yeah, those kept me up in the morning at my cousin, your brother
Yeah.
Nick's house.
Yeah.
I'd go and play. And
Yeah, that game introduced me to the RTS world.
yeah,
Like,
the
oh,
RTS,
this is cool.
real time strategy. I'm just building armies, upgrading your empire, and your military, and keeping the economy good. I think I like it because not just because of the war, but because like I got ADD and it helps me clicking all the time. Like, yo, it's like Tetris, like this one next, this one that.
Yeah.
That's why it stimulates
You
me.
always got something to do. Like,
It stimulates me. That's why I really like it too. Besides the war, it stimulates me. And then, man, number one.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. Number one, I gotta go with It's a tough one, but man, I put Chrono Trigger.
I knew you were gonna say
Classic,
that.
yeah,
I remember you always
classic.
playing that
I
game.
put Chrono Trigger. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. Super Nintendo.
JRPG.
That game.
Yeah, that game's short, simple, but it was just awesome. It was really like, sure, I played on Final Fantasy VII before it. I don't know, I had Chrono Trigger before, but I never beat it until after all the Final Fantasy. Chrono Trigger, and that was tied with Final Fantasy IX for my top one that I would replay and enjoy everything of it. Because it was a dream production. It was designed, that character designed by Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball.
Yep.
And
It's like I had the similar hairstyle.
yeah,
Okay.
the programming was from Final Fantasy team and all that stuff. So they all like in the Nobuo Uematsu, the composer and his
See, this guy
buddies.
really knows his
He
stuff.
knows
his
He
stuff,
digs
man,
into
yeah.
it. Like he
Yeah,
said, he
yeah.
loves to learn about these
So
things.
Chrono Trigger
man.
was like a dream match with all these talents from Japan just to get it to play it, and also it was a good storyline, and it's really sweet too in its essence.
Yeah.
That game aged very well too. I think that game's still fun to play.
Yeah,
to this
it's
day,
pretty
like-
well. Yeah, good music, awesome
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
awesome battle system,
Yeah.
memorable character, funny, quirky, could be sad. A lot of things to do too. At the end, a lot of endings too. That's why it's so replayable.
Oh, it actually had multiple endings?
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
never
got
knew
like
that. Okay.
16 endings.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
But
okay.
then when you beat it, you could restart it with all your stats, all your
Yeah.
levels. So
Yes.
you go quick. You could
Just
beat
go
it in
beat it
different
again.
areas to get different endings. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so my question was, going on to breaking. What was one of your worst injuries when you were breaking that you ever had?
Man, mostly, when I forgot what I was doing. I was trying to do I was at the Hmong New Year in Metrodome.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I tried to do like a 90 into air chair.
Shit,
But I
that move was
landed,
hard.
overextended. And from what people said, I couldn't even hear the crack. People heard the crack, but all I heard was and I'm like, I think my arm's fucked up. I couldn't feel it, but luckily it wasn't broken. We went to the hospital. It wasn't broken. It's just like all the muscles just fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry for swearing. Can we swear here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Alright,
cussed
we
like a
over
few times already.
18, right? Oh shit. Yeah.
I remember
that's
that
about
moment
it.
too.
My arm was just all bruised up for a good month and a half. Yeah.
God,
Do y'all remember that moment?
I
remember.
don't.
I think I remember a small
vividly.
glimpse of it.
Yeah.
But
I
other
think
than
I
that,
remember.
the usual bad knees or
Mhm.
blisters and water blisters on your arm from doing too much stacks. And
Yeah.
but no, not really. Not too much of bad injury. The
Okay.
usual sprain, the usuals.
Damn.
All right, nice. Well, there you have it, man. The legendary Bboy Zous. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Shit, let's get a drink on, bro.
I want to say one last thing.
Alright.
I want to give, like, me, Ku, and Kong a chance to just give my fam, my cousin, some flowers. And I just want to say, man, thank you, Zeus,
Oh, dang.
for, like, your impact in my life and our lives. Because of you, like, breaking became a big role in our life. And me, when I think of my life,
Alright.
breaking are, like, some of the greatest memories in my life. And if
Yeah.
it wasn't you, there wouldn't be those memories,
Yeah.
If there wasn't you for that, there wouldn't even be gaming for me too. When I think about it, because you showed me like Tenchu and all these game and all these things. So I just wanted to take a moment to give you flowers and say, thank you.
Oh, man.
You
Dang.
made such a great impact in my life, and I love you, man.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you too, cuz. Yeah, love you. Yeah, love
Yo,
you.
man.
Kong, give,
All
you
I
know what,
say
give some
is,
flowers
yeah,
to Ku.
man. Every time,
Not to Ku, to Zeus.
yeah,
Some flowers to
He
Zeus.
man. Every time but yeah, anytime like anyone asks me, yo, who's like the top b-boy who like inspired you, I'll say Zeus, man. No matter what, number one Zeus. And then when asked, besides Zeus, then I kind of have to think about it because I just remember like, damn, when I was young, I just remember Zoua taking me everywhere. He would always, even when I didn't want to break, he was like, "No, you better break." He was like, grab me and throw me in the middle.
I'm sorry for that.
And I was like, damn, but that pushed me too, you know. So it was
those days. Just go, just get in, dude.
Yeah.
Get him.
I was shy too, but Zeus kind of like made me come outside of my shell. So I just want to say thank you for that. And yeah, man, you just inspired me so much more, and just kind of taking me outside to just see life, you know, instead of me just being stuck in a shell, you know. And I give all that, you know, because of you were the reason why. And without you, shoot, I don't even know what I would be doing right now. I'd probably just be hella introvert. But yo, man, I just want to say thank you, brother.
It's all good. It's all love.
Yeah, Zeus, I'm gonna keep it short, but man, you already know, man, kind of like what the other two guys said. You definitely like were a big impact and something that we were passionate in doing, which is, you know, obviously breaking. And you know, I already mentioned, you know, I kind of brain farted there, but at the end they like just kind of like, you know, we all know that. Oh, okay, I remember now. So, you know, like earlier I said, you know, breaking was a big identity of mine. And, you know, we all love breaking, and we all can say it is like a big identity of ours, all of us. And you were definitely like that guy who brought that in and like, you know, brought that light into our life, which is, you know, like breaking, but just not just breaking, but just like experiences in general, you know, like you think about it at your age back then, you hung out with us as little as kids. Like you don't see people do that anymore these days, right? Like shining light onto younger people and just hanging out with them like human beings, you know? So yeah, just thanks for that, man. Just
appreciate it.
Yeah.
You too, man. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for liking the stuff I like.
Yeah, and I say like every time I do talk to like the big name b-boys or the big name dancers, and they tell me who inspired them, I'm like, shoot, well, you know who inspired me? My cousin Zeus. And I think like, you know, it's good to kind of, you know, to have someone that kind of brings up your name, that, you know, I'm what's the saying? I'm not sure how you say it. Like your name kind of lives through us too, you know. So whenever I do speak to kids and just let them know who taught me, I was bringing, you gotta look at this guy Zoua. Zeus, he was a legend to me, you know. So I was kind of, it lives now that I spoke your name to them. It kind of lives through the younger generations too now, you know.
Yeah, look up Zeus Air Track, man. 100K views, man. Look up. Literally, Zeus Air Track. And he does like 4 fast air tracks, and that's like when YouTube first came out, got 100K views. Still up, man.
That's the only reason why I got that much view. It's old.
So yeah, Zeus again, a legend to me, a legend to a lot of people. So I wanted to take a moment to give you flowers, man. So yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. Well, all right. Well, thank you guys for watching and tuning in to the KDK Podcast. Tune in for the next one.
Peace.
Peace out.